Hey everyone, and welcome. So let's talk about that big, kind of scary thing called retirement savings. I know, it can feel huge, but I promise by the end of our little chat, it's going to feel less like a tough climb and more like a super fun adventure. So let's get into it, because we're about to uncover a secret shortcut that almost everyone takes without even realizing it.
Okay, let's be real for a sec. The whole world of finance, it's filled with jargon and confusing charts, right? It can feel super overwhelming, but here's a little secret. You are completely in the driver's seat of your own money journey. You don't have to be a Wall Street genius to make really smart choices. You just need a good map. And that's exactly what we're going to build together today.
All right, let's dive right in. So, picture this. It's your first day at a new job, or maybe you just finally got the email about the retirement plan. You open up this form and bam, there's a list of investment funds. Maybe there are 3, maybe there are 10, and they've got these intense names like Aggressive Growth Fund or Total Global Bond Index. What do you even do with that? It's a classic case of just too many choices.
So, when our brains see all those options, they do something totally natural. They look for a shortcut. Researchers Shlomo Benintarzi and Richard Thaler gave this a name, the 1 over n rule. It's kind of like being at a pizza party. If there are 4 different pizzas on the table, you might just grab a slice of each to try them all. If n is the number of funds, you just put 1 divided by n of your money into each one. Simple, it feels fair, and it seems like you've made a perfectly balanced plate, right? But what if I told you that's not the whole story?
Okay, this is where things get a little sneaky. Let's stick with our pizza party idea. In the first scenario, your company's menu has 1 stock fund, that's our pepperoni, and 1 bond fund, our classic cheese. Using that 1N rule, you split your money 50-50. Perfect, a nice, balanced plate. But then, the company adds a second stock fund. Let's call it sausage. Now you've got 3 options. So you do the same logic, right? You put a third of your money into each. But whoa, look what just happened. Now you're suddenly 67% in stocks and only 33% in bonds. Your meal just got a whole lot spicier. And the craziest part? You didn't even mean to take on more risk. The menu made the choice for you.
And that's the huge takeaway here. The number of funds your employer offers, well, it's completely arbitrary. It's random. It's not some secret, perfectly crafted recipe designed by a financial wizard just for you. It's just a list. And by using that 1N strategy, you're letting a totally accidental number dictate your entire investment plan. You've basically handed over the keys to your financial future to whoever designed the menu. But hey, don't worry, there is a much, much better way to do this. This isn't about guessing, it's about a super powerful idea that literally changed the entire world of finance. It's time for us to move past just splitting the pizza and start thinking like a master chef. So let's unlock some of that portfolio magic. And the wizard who literally wrote the spellbook is this man, Harry Markowitz. Back in the 1950s, he came up with something we now call modern portfolio theory. And his ideas were so groundbreaking that he won a Nobel Prize for them. He's the one who gave us the tools to go from just, guessing to building a truly intentional portfolio. Now, I know this quote looks super technical and maybe a little intimidating, but the idea behind it is actually so simple and so cool. What Markowitz figured out is that the risk of any one slice of pizza isn't what really matters. Nope. What really matters is how all the different slices get along with each other. Think of it like a seesaw. You don't want all your investments on one side going up and down at the same time. You want some on the other side so that when one side goes down, the other goes up. That's what keeps your whole portfolio nice and balanced. That relationship between them is the real secret ingredient. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. Real diversification isn't just about owning 10 different types of pepperoni pizza. I mean, that's not a balanced meal. It's about owning things that act differently in different situations. The best analogy is packing for a trip. You wouldn't pack 5 raincoats, right? You'd pack a raincoat and sunscreen. Why? Because you want to be ready whether the market weather is rainy and gloomy or bright and sunny. And that, right there, is the awesome core idea of modern portfolio theory. So let's put it all together and just see the difference side by side. On the left, you've got the 1 over n pizza slice method. That's where you let the menu call the shots. Yeah, it feels simple, but it can get super unbalanced super fast. But then look over on the right. That's the wizard's balanced feast. This is where you are the head chef. You're not just splitting things evenly. You're being intentional. You're choosing your ingredients carefully to build something strong that can handle anything. You're in control. So, being the chef of your own financial feast is a great start. But to really think about long-term growth, let's switch metaphors. Let's step out of the pizza parlor and into a beautiful garden we're planting for our future. You know, a great garden isn't made by just throwing a bunch of random seeds on the ground and watering them all the same amount. No way. A great gardener really thinks about the soil and the sun and the different seasons. They plant things that will thrive at different times. You know, bright flowers for the spring, tasty veggies for the summer, and hardy evergreens for the winter. Each plant has its own purpose, and they all work together to make the whole garden healthy and gorgeous. And this brings us to the real powerful definition of diversification. People in finance often call it the only free lunch in investing. And that's because when you do it right, it's kind of like a magic trick. You can make your garden safer from bad weather without having to give up any of the beautiful flowers or delicious veggies you expect to grow. It's truly the best of both worlds. Okay, so we've spotted the trap, we've met the wizard, and we've found this beautiful new garden metaphor. So what does this all mean for you right now? It means it's time to pick up the pen and write yourself into your own story as the hero. So if there's one single thing I really want you to take away from all this, it's this. That list of funds in your retirement plan is just a menu of ingredients. It is not the recipe for your success. You are the chef. You are the gardener. You hold the power to look at that menu and decide which ingredients, and in what amounts, are going to create the perfect, balanced financial future that's just right for you. Now, you might be thinking, this is amazing, but it also sounds a little complicated. Like, where do I even start? Well, portfolio theory has a wonderfully simple and powerful piece of starting advice. As researcher John Cochran points out, if you don't have a special reason to think you're way different from the average investor, a fantastic strategy is to simply own what's called the total market portfolio. A lot of plans offer a fund that does exactly that. It basically buys a teeny tiny piece of everything, which gives you the average return of the entire market. It's like the ultimate diversified, easy button starting point. So let's do a super quick recap of this awesome journey. First, we learned that your choices, not some random menu of funds, are what will build your financial future. Second, a truly strong portfolio is built by understanding how different investments work together, just like packing both sunscreen and an umbrella. And third, and most importantly, you are not a passive observer in all of this. You are the hero of your own money story. So I'll just leave you with this one question. You've seen the trap of the perfectly split pizza, and now you have the secret recipe book from the financial wizards. The garden is yours to plant. Now that you are the hero of your own money story, what amazing future are you going to create? I honestly can't wait to see what you grow. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today.